Okay.
Watch them grow, perceive, devote. This is the seed, light the show. Watch them grow.
Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your November 2019 general reading. I am Princess India. If you are new, if you are family, welcome back, my friend, for the 99 and the 2000 and whatnot, or whatever. So let's jump right in, Virgo. What we do first, if you are new here, we do a pick a card first for the generals, because the way that I do them over here on YouTube is that they are general, so it could literally be anything, career, money, love, whatever, but I'm not necessarily going to specify just so that we don't kill the message. So we're just sticking with themes and energy signatures and whatnot, or whatever. So in the event that you feel that you need something a little bit more specific to your situation, then depending on what card it is that you guys pick over here, which is going to be 1, 2, or 3. So go ahead and pick what number you guys want to choose, and that card translates to a group. So in the extended over on Vimeo, I'm going to be picking up energies for each of those specific 3 groups in reference to the extended spread that we do over yonder. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot, or whatever. But anywho, so go ahead and pick your card, and I'm going to tell you guys what I picked up on intuitively as I shuffle and pick them. Virgo. I had Herb turn the camera on. I jotted down a few words because the thing I think is so gangster this month is my clairvoyance is on fleek. Like literally every single sign up until you guys now too, I got a vision, and that happens, you know, it's hit or miss. Some signs get visions, some get words, some get sensations, but so far it's been all clairvoyance. The first thing that I saw for Virgo, and I thought that this was going to be simple, but it is Scorpio season. And if you've seen the Taurus reading or the Scorpio reading, then you understand, you know? Things got extra deep, you know what I'm saying? But anywho, and then I'm saying now, because watch the Taurus reading. I'm just going to say that. Because I realized what I talked about in the October recap briefly about how every month there's always one sign that kind of steps forward and ends up having a message that encompasses what the collective is going through. Well, I don't know if that has anything to do with the other months, but this month with Taurus, I realized that that's a multi-purpose reading, not just for people who have Taurus in their sun, moon, rising, or Venus, but because of Uranus being in Taurus. So all of the themes that came up in the Taurus reading are very much intricately related to the planet energy. So that reading would resonate for Tauruses as well as for the collective, because the entire collective is under the influence of Uranus being in Taurus. So check that out if you haven't. But anywho, back to you guys' energy. So first and foremost, for Virgos, y'all had me pick a whole nother deck, okay, that we're doing our pick a card with. I ain't never used this deck for the pick a card, but this is what I was told to use. So that was step number 1. Number 2 was with the vision that I saw for you guys, and I thought it was going to be simple. It's like I saw a dude, and this is so weird, Scorpio season. The dude was like cut in half, and then his body went in 2 different directions. So his upper body, like his torso and arms and head, went over here, and then his legs went over there. And I was like, okay, that's weird. So it's dissension within oneself, right? So I was thinking, oh, you know, that's simple. No, it wasn't simple, Virgo. Not at all. No, it wasn't. So that translates into more or less there being a dissension within Virgo. And I wouldn't even say this month. I feel like this is kind of like, I'm probably going to use this term wrong, but like crescendo in a sense, like, you know. And the couple of words I wrote down because I didn't want to forget, the main essence of the theme of what you guys are dealing with this month is your purpose. The dissension is in relation to your purpose, right? The next thing is Oh, that was the other thing. When I was clearing my deck, these two cards fell out. The Temperance and the Four of Pentacles. And as soon as I saw those, I heard resistance to the titles of change. Soul versus ego. Right? So putting this all together really quickly. What we're talking about here, and then y'all even got a poem too, Virgo. Like, when I tell y'all, when I tuned into y'all energy, it wasn't even like 60 seconds, and this was like pew, 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 pew on some stuff, right? Hold up, wait a minute, it's a 22. Okay, sorry, had to do that. But yeah, so resistance to the titles of change. So to put this all into a very tangible, make sense kind of way, what it's looking like for me is ego versus soul is more or less Virgo's soul essence, like your truth wants to be birthed forward because your soul has a purpose and a mission that needs to be fulfilled. But it's combating Virgo's ego, which is like, expectations or whatever education you've gotten up to this point or whatever role you play in life. That's battling against what your soul knows that it's here to do. And that's what causes the dissension. Because it's like you're almost like in opposition to yourself, right? So anything that's coming into your life that's trying to take things away from you or uproot things or any type of discomfort or what have you, or if you guys have a very clear strategic plan of something that it is that you're trying to achieve and that seems to keep getting undermined, that's because it may be you guys trying to sow seeds in a garden that isn't intended for you to sow into. So that's more or less the ego garden. And the goal this month is to pretty much do that work to align with what one's purpose is. So to start going in the direction of that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these little cards and whatnot. Whew, man, Virgo, I'm literally trying to get it all out because it's so much. So hopefully you picked your cards. So we'll go ahead and do this and I'll get back into the message. You know what I'm saying? But if you picked card number 1, we have, faith in the process. These cards are so gangster, I'm just saying. Is she in a wagon? That's weird. She's in a red wagon and the wagon's name is Faith. The Faith wagon. Oh, I'm going to be quiet. If you pick card number 2, we have big, bold vision. Sorry, I got to be extra. And if you pick card number 3, we have focus on the light. Go into the light, Caroline. Okay, sorry. I'm being so extra. And then I'm being told to look at the bottom of the deck. That's not out of the 3 cards. So these are the 3 groups that we're going to be going into in the extended. And what is at the bottom of the deck? There's so many surprises going on here. Bring it into form. Well, yeah, that's kind of on point there. Number 41, that's what's at the bottom of the deck. Add that together, we got 5. And that's making me think of... You have an email. Oh, let me turn you off. It's making me think about that poem, Footprints, that my grandmother used to have on the wall. So that may have some significance to someone. But this, in essence, we're talking about, this is a lot of the energy that it is that I'm feeling going into November. I don't necessarily, I mean, it is a rebirth energy, but I'm feeling it as like rebirth of oneself, but it's very Empress energy. It's very, birthing something into form, being in, utero and things of the sort. But all in all, and then I'm going to read this poem, but the thing is that I feel that whatever resistance that's coming up in Virgo's life right now, that it's almost you guys are seeing it as a threat, but it's actually like, spirit trying to bring in this deluge to clear out everything that's no longer serving you. And another energy signature that I picked up on, which is weird. I mean, it's not really weird. It's weird to me because I was like, this is just so much stuff going on right now. But I picked up on the pathology path of the mastermind, which would be life path 7. So if you're a Virgo and you're life path 7, probably makes sense. If you have never seen the pathology readings, maybe you should go watch that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, but that makes sense to me in the sense of when we look at what the mission or the call or the life song, so to speak, of the life path, or not the life path, but the pathology path 7, the mastermind, is mastering one's mind, right? And mastering your mind in the sense of allowing your heart space or your soul, the true authority, to take its rightful place. So that, oh, wow, okay, well, damn, that does make sense. Okay. See how my little earthly mind works? That makes total sense. So it's more or less putting your heart space or the seat of your soul in the driver's seat, right? So that you can, walk in alignment or take action in alignment with your truth. So it's a swap, because in so many words, throughout the course of our life, we're conditioned to believe that our ego or our mind is the ruler of everything, right? But the mind does not really know much of anything, because all of the information it has is secondhand, and it relies on your ears and your eyes and your nose and everything else to record information. But everything that the brain comes up with, because I won't say mind, I'll specifically say brain as in the organ in your head, it's pretty much a computer. So it's just kind of, inputting and outputting. There's no, creative essence to that, right? But if we talk about mind, or heart, in so many words, your soul essence, because your soul being like that connection line to the divine in so many words, that's where divine inspiration comes from. That's where connection to your divine purpose, mission, and, all this other kind of stuff comes through. So it's more or less making an exchange and realizing, or even if you look at it like the Lover's card, like head over heart decision type of deal, it's more or less making a choice to follow the pathway of the heart as opposed to that of the mind, which is what we've all been doing, which, encapsulates the whole intention of awakening and all this other kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? All of these readings are going to be so long this month. I already know. But I can tell you guys, Virgo, that you guys are going through an alchemical process. It's a true full-on transmutation of oneself, because it's not necessarily for you guys graduating to another level. It's more or less, that's where we could say rebirth. It's being rebirthed into an entirely new form, if that makes sense. So it's not growing up or going to the next stage. It's becoming something that you are not as you stand presently today. So it's a full on like transmutation in a sense, transfiguration in so many words. But the other thing that Spirit gave me for you guys, man, Virgo, I don't know what's going on in y'all life, but y'all got so much stuff, was a poem. And it's a poem that I wrote. I'm not even gonna say wrote. I totally channeled this poem. But this was, man, this is before I even started my channel. This maybe 3-4 years ago. But I'm going to read it to you really quick, because that was another thing that Spirit wanted me to share. But I'm not even going to rush. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all know we don't do readings like regular over here. So y'all already know what this is about. So anywho, it says, the poem doesn't even have a name, which is ironic. But it goes, her spirit is called beautiful. She is like the wild lotus, awakened by the sun, illuminating her light of joy into the world. Her presence is healing. She is like a well of pure love, and from it she draws peace for the wounded. Her resilience is inspiring. She has made peace with her pain and learned to appreciate herself. She is a woman who knows her worth and belongs only to herself. She is you. She is me. She is us. And if you're a he, you can go ahead and put, he's and hims in there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I was led to read that to you guys. And I mean, looking at it, this to me would be a testament or a very specific description of who it is you all are becoming. So if there's ever any fear or curiosity into who your personal revolution / evolution process, or if we look at this from an alchemical standpoint, since the temperance card fell out for y'all, if there's ever any curiosity of what this spiritual path or journey, if you're, considering pursuing it or just curious about it or whatever, but the alchemical process that you're on, the intention is to transform you into a being such as this, because I don't know, I haven't read that in years, but just reading it again, it feels wow, it's like to be in the presence of a person like that is awe-inspiring in so many words. But that's what I feel Virgo is headed towards, but it's more or less a need to reconcile the two parts of yourself that are in opposition to each other. And that's why I say the Lover's card is perfect for this, because it's creating union out of disunion. It's like a dynamic energy, in a sense, of harmonizing seeming opposites, which is an illusion, because there really is, there really aren't opposites at all. It's really just extremes of the same thing. If you think about, water being ice and it being steam, it's not to say that it's an entirely different element. It's just an element in different degrees, different manifestations. So it's more or less going back to the balance of the temperance card is about. I swear to God, I could probably do y'all whole doggone reading with them 2 damn cards. But if we go back to looking at temperance being a major arcana and that being spiritual lesson, what we're talking about is walking this middle road. The middle road is the alchemy path to the golden aura and or one's transfiguration, in so many words. And it's the middle road between 2 extremes of the same energy, in so many words. Ooh, I love how these readings is just all up in my Kool-Aid, you know what I'm saying? 17 minutes, I ain't pulled cards yet. Your central energy is the King of Cups. Very interesting. This is, challenged by the devil. You know what I'm saying? This is so gangster. So here's the thing, Virgo. So in this wonderful month of November, the whole thing is here. God, this is so much symbolism. We're talking about you guys going through like a baptism. You know what I'm saying? If you think about baptism and its symbolism in the Christian church, it's symbolic of dying to the old life, being cleansed, right? And then as you come up from the water, you're rebirthed or renewed, in so many words. So it's a statement or a testament that you're doing in front of people to symbolize the choice that one made to, walk the middle road, right? Or as they would say in the Christian church, like the path of Christ, but the middle road, right? But the whole thing is here, and I think this is so funny. If you read my book, then you completely understand where it is that I'm about to go with this devil card and the fact that I mentioned the Lovers just a few minutes ago. But if we reduce the devil card 15, we have the number 6, which brings us to the Lovers, right? In my book, I talk about how the devil card and the Lovers card is the light side and the shadow side of the same energy. It's so funny. I didn't even need cards. So we're talking about those 2 extremes. It's not opposites. It's 2 extremes of the same thing. So the challenge for Virgo this month, and this is going to go by so much quicker, guys, since I pretty much just explained myself already. The battle that you guys are in is to pretty much choose light over dark. And it's not so much saying this in a sense of like, oh, you guys have been in darkness and in devil energy or whatever. It's just the fact that whether on either side of this Likert scale, it's the fact that there's been extremism in whatever direction this is relevant into your life, right? There's a need for one to enter their heart space, confront their emotions, and listen to what your inner being is telling you. Because I feel in so many ways, like I said in the beginning, this dissension and discord the root of it can be found in your emotional realm. So your emotions, your intuition is trying to tell you something, but the whole key is there's going to be a sacrifice that needs to be made, and it's more or less sacrificing one's comfortability and bondage to what is safe and what is known, which is an ego way of living, or one's prior understanding of their path or their process or whatever's been invested in up to this point. And more or less, man, this is so much religious symbolism. What is it? A man must lose his life if he ever hopes to gain it. So it's almost needing to sacrifice this false idol. Man, this is so crazy, Virgo. I'm just going with it. This is how it's coming out. There's a need to sacrifice the false idol one has built to this life or this devil or whatever. The thing that you thought was the end all be all, in so many words, in your life. It's building a monument to that. And one's soul essence is telling them that this is not the way, in so many words. So what Virgo is dealing with is taking that chance to leave behind what has been built up to this point, and not meaning that in a literal sense of like, you know, quit your job and go live in a van somewhere. We're not talking about that. I'm saying this in an energetic sense. But the whole key is whatever it is that you identify yourself with, which is something that's a theme we've been talking about a lot with Virgo, building this thing up, this facade, this view, this image, this brand that one kind of hides behind, in so many words. It's finally relinquishing that, you know, empty vessel for something that's of more worth and value, and that's more true and aligned with you and your truth, in so many words. So similar to what I talked about with Scorpio, it's more or less confronting your demon, right? Because I feel it's fear, in a sense, that I feel that's holding you guys back, that's making you think you can't follow whatever it is that your heart is compelling you to do, right? But there needs to be a balance, because an example Spirit is giving me now to kind of make this tangible is more or less in the sense of like, if you want to pursue a spiritual calling, it's the false belief that I have to quit my job to pursue this spiritual calling, right? And you don't, because that's extremism, because you were working at a job and you weren't doing anything in the direction to your spiritual path. So that's this side of the Likert scale to an extreme, right? But then the thought that, well, if I want to follow my spiritual calling, then I have to quit my job and I have to, you know, be broke and follow my spiritual passion and not know how I'm going to make money or pay bills, which is all the way on this side, which is another extreme of the Likert scale. And the whole purpose of what this is saying here is that both of these are wrong, but the balance, like what the Temperance card symbolizes, it's a middle road between these two extremes, right? And it's a need to understand there's a third option. It's not just this or that, in so many words. Oh, wow. Past influence, we have the Sun card. So I feel like in so many words, you guys have received inspiration, revelation, or an illumination of at least what direction you guys are going into. Whether this is just in your life or in reference to your soul's purpose, I feel that even if it's just like a little smidget of an idea that you guys have, something's been awakened within you. And that's interesting, because that's making me think about what I said about the Sun in here. She is like the wild lotus, awakened, awakened by the Sun, illuminating her light of joy into the world. Well, yeah, Virgo, we're talking about your calling here. There is something that you guys have within you that you need to birth into this realm. And I feel that your peace will be found there. I think all of the discord, chaos, and calamity you guys have felt in your life, or limitations, bondage, whatever, is because there's that self-denial. So like I said, it's more or less, wow, and there's sunflowers in one of the people in group 3. Got a sunflower in their card. That's fascinating. But I feel there's been a level of self-denial, and I think at this point in the game, this can't be denied anymore. But in so many words, like I'm saying, this challenge needs to be overcome and a path needs to be chosen, whether you're going to choose, your soul, you know what I'm saying? Or your ego, in so many words. That's really what it is that we're talking about here. And if you're curious as which to choose, there's a need to tune in and listen to what your heart and what your intuition is saying. Your underlying influence is the 9 of Swords. Wow, that's interesting, which is slaying the demon. Your above energy is the 2 of Swords. God, how am I saying? It's kind of a silly question to ask. I'm like, how am I saying everything that's on the cards that I haven't turned over yet? But let me just turn over the last one. Oh my God. I am done. Okay? Spirit, I'm finished. I am done. Done. Oh my God. You have got to be kidding me right now in America. The freaking Lover's card, dog. Wow. Okay. I might be psychic. So here's the deal. This is why I love when I pull cards, why I don't like to turn them all over at once, because this inadvertently becomes like confirmation in so many words. Wow. I am literally outdone, Virgo in America. Okay, so anywho, our underlying influence is the 9 of Swords. Your above influence is the 2 of Swords. So we're talking about conscious and subconscious. Consciously, what it's looking like is I'm at a crossroads or I'm in dissension, I'm confused, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go. But the underlying influence in your unconscious is saying exactly what it is that I've said up to this point. The sun, proverbially speaking, came in and shined light on what it is that is bondage in your life, what the addiction is in your life, what the bad choices you've been making are in your life, who's the person that's holding you back in your life. And for some of you, it is a present tense Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio person. For others of you, it's a past tense Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio father figure. For others of you, it's a father figure who may not be a water sign or may be a water sign. Could be a Capricorn too, or a Leo, or a Sagittarius that had an alcohol problem or had a drug problem, right? Or was abusive in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But I feel with some of you, it's literally just a mental mindset and fear-based energy. For others of you, it's literally just awakening out of your ego for the first time to see that there's more than this 3D realm. For others of you, it's a physical person in your life now. For others of you, it's something past tense. So it's an external voice that one has internalized, right? That has become the limitation, right? But this is, dude, I cannot make this stuff up. Literally what the challenge is going to be for Virgos this month is the light has been shown on the demon. Whatever that is, whatever the bondage is, it's very clear and apparent what it is that's been holding you back up to this point. So Spirit is more or less giving you guys the sword of truth, and you can choose to utilize the light side of the sword or the dark side of the sword. You can choose your path, and it is entirely up to you. You can choose the dark side, or you can choose the light side. Entirely up to you. These are two sides of the same coin, right? You can be in bondage or you can be free. It's entirely up to you. But at this point in the game, whatever decision that you guys make going forward, it will be a conscious one. Because, and I don't know why I know why, because clearly you need to know it, but I'm really I need to put stress on this. Whatever decision it is that you make going forward, it will not be one of ignorance, right? Because it's one thing to not know and to make a decision. It's like, oh, I didn't know all the factors, or, oh, I didn't know what it was that was influencing me to do that. I had no idea. The thing that Spirit is leading me to say is that maybe prior to this point, you guys didn't know and you weren't sure. But at this point in the game, you are very sure of what this is or who this is that needs to be, well, I can't even say needs to be released, but it's more or less, this is the thing that's blocking you guys from freedom. This person is now becoming a symbolism of bondage, right? Which takes me back to Scorpio's reading, which I talked about in my book. The vision that I wrote about in my book was about a person being trapped, and the only way that they could get to their freedom is if they face the demon. And it's like being locked in an apartment, no windows and no doors but one, and this demon is standing in front of the door. So it's either you spend the rest of your life hiding in this apartment away from this demon, or you make the decision to get the courage to battle this demon once and for all to gain your freedom, right? But whatever this demon is for you all, Spirit has brought the light in, shine the light on the dark so it is clear now who or what it is. But you have the ability and the power to choose what you're going to do about that. You can choose to slay the demon and to gain your freedom, right? And to go forward and manifest the life that you want. Or you can choose to stay in bondage. But whatever you choose is entirely up to you, because you have everything you need to make the choice, right? Wow, that's fascinating. And it's taking me back to this whole, like the whole Garden of Eden thing. Of like, the tree of life. Or the knowledge of good and evil. So this is literally spiritual ascension or choosing to remain in the 3D, in a black and white world. It's either gaining that middle road, the third path, or staying in the dyad, and that being 100% your choice. Wow. Virgo, Jesus. Scorpio season. Wow. Okay. This has been interesting. All of these readings this month are going to be interesting. I already see it at 32 minutes. They're not going to be short. They're not. We're going to go ahead and throw the dice resonance. So you can ask a yes or no question if you like, Virgo. Wow. Dude. I don't even know what to say. This is heavy. This is huge, man. This is really huge. Okay, the answer to your question is yes. We have Mars. Scorpio going into Mars. We have Leo. Mars is Scorpio's ruling planet. I think it is. We have family, and we have Aquarius. So yes, Leo, family, Aquarius, and male or Mars. Now we are going to throw the dice that have no name. I don't know what to say, Virgo. Y'all let me know in the comments, because this is, I'm flabbergasted at the fact that everything that I was seeing is literally in card form. Like the lovers being here, like the sun card at first was like, whoa. But it's like the lovers card being here, dog. It's like, come on, Spirit, come on. All right, we have the number 5. We have Venus, and we have Scorpio. Oh, interesting. Venus and Scorpio, that's a little, a little obsession going on there, a little obsessive energy, you know what I'm saying? A little bit, yeah. Okay, let's see. Venus, learning to love, curated relationship with spirit, self, and others. Cultivate harmony and balance in your life. Ain't that something? And number 5, we have consistently inconsistent, mental instability, and sheepishly following without question. Don't forsake your truth in service to another's. And your major arcana for the month is the Hierophant, right? So for some of you, I can say this in 2 ways. There's some of you who are being called to teach, like to be a teacher, like guru, you know what I'm saying? And then there's others of you who may be coming in contact with a teacher. And then overall, when we're talking about you guys' challenge or what it is that's being revolutionized or uprooted in your life, it's old traditions and mindsets that are no longer serving you. You know what I mean? It's like, if we think about like dead religion, and that's interesting for the Hierophant to come up and it's like all these religious symbolism I was getting for you guys. If we think about dead religion, it's, ritual devoid of spiritual intention is what dead religion is. So we're going through the motions and we're doing things, but it's lost that conviction, that fervor, and that intention behind it, right? So it's dead. And when a ritual is devoid of spirit, it thus becomes bondage. The rebirth of life back into that system or that framework or that ritual is more or less an awakening to recognize that the intention has been lost and, reinfusing it, or it's completely deconstructing the system, right? Because now it's literally a prison. So I say that to say that for all of us, systems, structures or what have you, these things are there to be in service to humanity or man, woman, singular person. A system is supposed to be in service to you, right? A ritual is supposed to be in service to you, because the intention in the midst of all of that is what is existing behind that. If that has been lost, right, even if it's the path that you're on, the reason why you were doing it in the first place, if that has been lost, you have now, you're now awakening to the reality that you are imprisoned, right? So there's a need to set a new goal, create a new ideal, have a new idea, go to an expert, reach out to someone that can help guide you to where it is that you need to be or how to reinfuse spirit or life back into whatever this framework or structure is for you guys. Whew! Papa Molly, I'm sweating. All right, Virgo, that's been your November reading. It was fun. I mean, thank you, dagnabbit son of a gun. I mean, I live for this stuff, you know what I'm saying? But anywho, I'm going to go over to Vimeo to do you guys extended. So if you're about that life, meet me over there. If not, I still love your freaking face. And I will see you guys sooner than later. Void of spirit or spiritual intention, right? So it ends up becoming this hollow ritual in which one is in bondage, right? It's like if we were to look at this as like journey or sequence, group 1 is beginning, group 2 is middle, and group 3 would be the end. So with my group 3 people, you guys are scattering your energies, or you guys are considering, like you've been working on something for a long time and you may not have seen like the fruits of your labor. My group 1 people, it's a very dark time. Things may be very chaotic. You may feel trapped, you may feel bound, you may feel that there's no way out. Group 2 people, this feels like a visionary gift, a seer gift, psychic gift, channeling gift, something along those lines.